Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord and Jake Gordon. The All NBA teams were announced, and we're going to run through them, anything that stands out. And we'll start with the first team. And the first guy that I see on this list already pisses me off because it's Luka Doncic. Let me tell you, Trae Young got one vote for All NBA. I don't think he should have been All NBA. He doesn't deserve it. But Luka Doncic getting first team when the Mavs had an absolutely terrible season. He put up empty stats. He put up empty numbers. I don't understand why Luka Doncic gets a pass when Trae Young never does. Like, if Trae Young had the same season, missed the playoffs, they'd be like, Trae Young, cancer, killer, can't win, blah, blah, blah. But Luka gets first team. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I see another guy on here getting the same treatment as well, and I'm actually a huge fan, but I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but it's the exact same thing. Like, it's pretty much identical.
It's a double. I mean, what do we do when double standard is an understatement? I mean, the whole reason for Trae Young not making an All NBA team until the year prior to last was because of the empty stats winning argument. And he addressed it on Twitter. He said empty stats, put a couple emojis, yada, yada, yada. And that's not important. What is important is how
things nowadays.
These are so subjective. And I know they always were. All NBA, all pro, all these are subjective awards. But these are directly tied to compensation. Like, now Jaylen Brown can get a supermax. You know who can't get a supermax now? Ja Morant. And I'm not arguing Ja Morant is he's better than Trae Young or any. I'm just trying to make a point that now he can't get a supermax. What is that, $40 or $50 million left on the table? Guys, this is ridiculous. I could understand SGA. He had an unbelievable year. I love him. Same as you, Jake. But first team, Trae Young got one third team vote. And I'm with you, Chase. He probably didn't deserve it this year, but he certainly was snubbed in the past. This is ridiculous.
I think they need to.
Yeah, Julius Randle made third team All NBA, guys. Like,
they need to do away with positions. Nikola Jokic should not be on the second team. I'm sorry. I don't care.
He should have won MVP. I mean, if we're being realistic, he should have won MVP.
I believe
Julius Randle being third team.
Fatigue. I think Jokic should have won MVP easily.
Damian Lillard makes third team. It's just. I don't
understand it. I just don't get the criteria. Like, what's the criteria?
I could even argue De'Aaron Fox should be higher than third team. I mean,
without a doubt.
They actually were winning. The Kings, they had their best season in 10, 20 years?
It's just like, what matters? Does winning matter? Does winning not matter? Like,
that's what I'm saying with the criteria. Like, what I've been told it does. I've been told it doesn't.
Some guys. I mean, it's just like, it's really just who these voters, whoever they are, who they like. It's just like, yep. We like this guy. We don't like Trae Young. For some reason, people like Trae Young. I don't get it. So
last year, Trae Young led the entire league in points and assists. Sure, his averages weren't at the top, but they were top 5. We're just gonna penalize a guy for playing every single night. When's the last time you've seen a superstar play every single night and then lead the league in points and assists? I mean, this is ridiculous.
I think it's only happened like one time, and it was like Tiny Archibald or something like that. It was forever ago. So yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. The Trae Young, but listen, I'm not going to say Trae Young deserved it. He did not deserve to make one of these All NBA teams. But yes, in the past, he's gotten snubbed for X, Y, and Z. Even when the Hawks are winning, it's like, even when the Hawks are winning, they're like, oh, they didn't win enough. Should have won more.
It's the guy can't play defense, and you're like, look at Luka. Luka plays as bad defense as Trae Young, and just because Trae doesn't get boards like Luka does, he's just not. I mean, the criteria, like you said, Jake, it's just, we're just moving the goalpost. Keep moving them. Well, Trae didn't do this. Well, this guy didn't do that. I mean, it's ridiculous. These voters should be ashamed.
Shoot a half-court shot. Like, like I said, I'm with y'all too. I don't think Trae really deserved it, but I'd like to get some criteria here. Like, can we set some ground rules? Do you have to be a winner or do you not? Because that's I keep hearing, oh, well, he didn't make the playoffs. The Mavs are probably the biggest disappointment in the NBA this year. So
let's talk about another big aspect of this, and that's Jaylen Brown getting the second team All NBA, which means he is eligible for that Supermax. And Jaylen Brown's been a guy who's kind of been connected to Atlanta because, he talks good about Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. It kind of seems like he's been very like, I kind of want out of Boston kind of thing.
If they lose,
but 50 million changes a lot.
Yeah, they lose this series to the Sixers. It'd be interesting.
Listen. Let's not act like a Supermax changes anything in terms of what Jaylen Brown wants. This is the NBA. Superstars get what superstars want. Jaylen Brown, if Jaylen Brown wants out of Boston, he will sign that deal and then tell the Celtics, hey, Brad Stevens, I'm out of here. I don't want to play here anymore. I'm an alpha. Trade me. You're saying that, Chase, but like, when have you ever seen a team be like, oh no, we're keeping
not
you,
after
buddy.
you sign a 5-year deal. You lose a lot of control there. Like in general, yes, you have control. I want out of here, blah, blah, blah. But you sign a 5-year deal, you pretty much lose all that control.
It's more about saying it even before you sign the deal. Say, hey, Brad, look, I'm going to walk for nothing. Or I can sign this
like a sign and trade, like a sign
me.
and trade kind of
Yes,
thing.
That's what I'm referring to. So I think that's possible. I still think that's on the table, but this is all up to what Jaylen Brown wants. Like, let's not act like the Celtics are in control. If Jaylen Brown wants out of Boston, he's gone.
I don't disagree. I mean, yes, the sign and trade thing definitely is. They're not going to get as much as a normal thing, but they can still get a lot for Jaylen Brown.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be about where he wants to go. I mean, he's essentially a free agent. So yeah, I mean, he definitely holds the cards. I kind of didn't even think about a sign and trade, but yeah, it's definitely possible. Definitely possible.
It gets less likely though, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is less like. And if I'm Boston, man, like I'm just doing nothing. I'm going to him and appeasing him at every level, whatever you want, because the truth is he's just as good as Jason Tatum, in my opinion.
Yep,
he might be.
I
better.
agree.
He
might be better.
If he's not better, it's neck and neck. And I think if you gave him the keys, I think he would fit so well in Atlanta. I think that's what everyone
that's the
is
thing that kills
salivating.
me.
If you had DeJounte, Trey, and Jaylen Brown,
even without DeJounte, like I don't even care. Send DeJounte to Boston.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Coming up after the break, NBA playoffs. Steph and LeBron, Game 6, biggest game of the season.